First of all, congrats to Wade. I thought they were the tougher team for 40 minutes. Masood was incredible. He played. We couldn't find him. He made big-time shots. He was by far the best player on the court tonight. He made us pay every time. We didn't have the sense of urgency that we talked about in scouting for the couple of days that we had in preparation, and even today, to guard him. And you can't give up that many threes to one individual, let alone give up 15 to a team. We've been pretty good in that area, but we were really, really poor this evening. Our defense was poor throughout the hustle plays. We played against a team that was really hungry to win. I mean, really, really hungry. They've been close. And, to Steve's credit and his guys, they've remained together, and they've remained, confident in believing in what Steve is trying to do. When we came out to start the second half and we went up 12, we had a chance right there to really get some separation. But we showed a lack of maturity that we haven't shown in a while with some of our shot selection during that time, and then our effort on the defensive end. And they were able to cut it back to regain confidence, and then they took control of the game. We switched to a zone late because we couldn't guard them in man, and that gave us an opportunity where we had a chance. But unfortunately, we came up short. So, any questions?
Jeff, coming off of a win like Tuesday's, how much did you worry about a game like this, especially since Wake's a team, as you mentioned, that has played better and played closer than its record may indicate?
Yeah, I worried about it. It's something we all, as a coaching staff, worried about, tried to have our guys mindful of. But obviously, we didn't do a good enough job of doing that, of getting that message across.
Jeff, both Adis and X were talking about you weren't happy with the Thursday practice and that the guys were running a bit. Did you feel that something that you saw in that Thursday practice carried over into this game, or what might have led to that?
Everything about our preparation for this game led to this.
Jeff, Kareem had 4 fouls tonight. He's gotten into foul trouble a few times in the past few games. How does he stay out of foul trouble? How do you make sure he stays on the floor?
I mean, he's gotten some tough calls.
Jeff, Justin didn't score for the first 13 minutes, I think, of the second half. Were they doing anything special on him?
Not really.
What would you kind of account? What would you put that on? Sort of his lack of production in the second half.
He missed some shots. We didn't execute. We turned the basketball over. I would say all of those things.
Jeff, we had talked about the 3-point defense a little bit earlier. I mean, aside from wages to making shots, what are some of the biggest struggles or shortcomings you noticed from your team in that area?
Didn't have a sense of urgency to understand scouting and to know who the hot guy was. I mean, they have different guys that shoot the basketball. We were mindful and talked to our guys. They made 13 threes in their last game. But we just didn't do a good job of finding Masood. We were chasing guys off of stuff instead of going through the middle. Just things that we talked about and tried to work on. We just didn't do a good job of executing.
You mentioned about a lack of urgency. That's something you've talked about before. I feel like over the last couple of years, but even back to the St. Francis game this year, was that something you thought or hoped your guys were past? Was that something you believed that maybe you guys had grown out of?
I didn't believe that we were, but I certainly hoped. And when we came back to practice on Thursday, I knew that we hadn't.
Kind of building off of that, Jeff, I mean, how much does a loss like this show, how much does a loss like this show that your team still has some room to grow and some room to mature?
And the loss didn't take us losing for me to know that. I knew it when we beat Duke. I've known it all year, and so it doesn't take a loss to do that. Like, this sucks. The fact that we performed like this, not just the loss, but, and again, that's not taking anything away from Wake. They were tremendous. They were tremendous. But, we weren't deserving of winning. And even if that shot would have gone in, I would have felt that way. I would have been happier, but we weren't deserving of winning by some of the things that we did.
Which, what would you need to see from this team to know that they've reached that level of maturity or that level of growth that you're looking for?
We have to be able to handle success like mature people and be hungry for more and not be satisfied and understand what it means to show up every day. The same things I said after Duke. Like, I talked about how we showed up. We, like, everyone wants to ask, after that game, and it was 2 games in a row, like, what have you done? We've shown up. We've had an edge. We've had that. And for the first time in a long time, we didn't have it.
Justin, it seemed like a while to get you worked in on the second half in the part of the offense. What were you guys talking about when you saw Wake Forest starting to get a run going and when you weren't maybe not getting the ball as much in the second half?
I mean, they got on a little run. I think the kid number 20 hit 2 threes and a pull-up jump shot to get them up 6. And coaches just said we gotta respect the game. We can't come out here and take things for granted. We beat Duke. That's situations in the past, and we gotta get past these things. And they was just like trying to hit the low side and the post up because that was working. But ref wasn't calling no fouls. But we're not gonna sit here and complain and beg for fouls and stuff like that. So he just said we gotta respect the game and bounce back the right way.
Justin, we talked with Coach Capel about kind of a lack of urgency and maturity that he had noticed today and in the days leading up to the game. As someone on the team, how much did you notice it?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. First day back from Duke, we was very lackadaisical. We was going through the motions, had a terrible practice. But he almost kicked us out of practice. It wasn't good at all. We didn't have the right mindset. We came in there lazy. We was BSing it, and I always say practice leads to the game, and this is the outcome we get. And we can't come into the gym every day and expect good things to happen when we don't put good things in.
Justin, was Wake Forest doing anything special as far as their defense against you tonight?
I felt a little bit more pressure than usual, but nothing too special. And I got to my spots in the mid range, hit a couple threes. It wasn't anything special. I just got to be better at just basically making my free throws and finishing plays around the rim.
Justin, kind of along the same lines, that was the first game of your career where you didn't record an offensive rebound. What were they doing on the glass so effectively to keep you out of there?
They were boxing out. Every time we put up a shot or they put up a shot, they always send one guy to me or 2 sometimes. But that's on me. I always say that I'm not gonna sit here and make excuses. That's on me. I gotta get to the glass more, and I gotta rebound for my team.
Justin, over the course of the season, as you've put up these big games and your profile has kind of grown, how have you noticed teams, if at all, defending you differently or approaching you differently during games, whether it's defensively or preventing you from getting boards?
I mean, personally, I haven't really felt no real pressure. I think that it's more on me to get to the glass. I don't really feel like anybody can really stop me from getting to the glass, but myself. It's more of a mental thing for me. I just feel like I haven't felt no change in defense. Really, just a little bit more pressure on the low side when they drop the ball in the post to me. But other than that, I don't really feel no different, no pressure. It's just a matter of me making my shots and getting to my spots and getting the rebounds.
Justin, how do you and the other veterans of the team kind of rally the message? Because both Xavier Johnson and Au'Diese Toney during the week were talking about this to practice the same way you are now with how you guys return to practice on Thursday. How do you as team leaders address, the other guys and try to rally the guys to come back after a loss like this?
Oh, we right after the game, we said it's either going to make us or break us, this loss. Last year we came off a big win and then we lost. And then we just lost 8 straight and it broke us down. And we said, we don't want to go through that again. We know what it's like, and it's not a good feeling, So we told them, stay on social media. People are gonna say things about you, text you, say all these things, but just focus on us and getting back in the gym tomorrow whenever we have practice again and getting after it and not taking it for granted.
What do you think, Justin, it's going to take for this team to be able to handle success better, and I guess more maturely?
I just think it's a mindset. I think that it's to me it's basically just I feel like it's practice. I feel like coming off big wins and multiple wins, you still got to come to practice every day and act like nothing happened. I think that it's really practice that sets us up for the game. I feel like if we work hard in practice and do the right things in practice and go hard and go after each other, it makes the game that much easier. And we got to stay connected throughout the whole game, and we can't have no mental lapse.
You think the guys will take this as a hard lesson?
I think some of them take it as a hard lesson, and some like us veterans, we're probably gonna take it as we know what this is. This happened to us last year, and we know how to handle it. But the younger ones, they're gonna take it as like, oh man, I want to lose. But I'm just gonna tell them to lock in and get ready for the next one because we got a big one coming up.
Kareem, there was talk this week from some of your teammates that practice wasn't so great a couple of days. How much did that maybe lead into this game tonight?
Was not locked in, was not focused, That's it.
Kareem, you were able to score a bunch tonight, but you got into some foul trouble. What did you feel was contributing to the things that, when the offense was going, what kind of happened that you saw when you guys started to lose that focus in the middle of the game?
Say it again. I didn't.
Early on in the game, you were putting up points and you got into double digits. But as you saw when you were on the court, there were times that you guys started to lose the focus late. What were you guys talking about and trying to do to address those moments mid game?
We was just talking about get a stop, play some defense, then yeah, that's it.
Kareem, what do you think? Your 15 points today, I think were a career high. What seemed to be working for you offensively today?
You said what?
Sorry, what seemed to be working for you offensively today? Your 15 points, I think, were a career high.
Yeah, I was just open. A lot of my layup, I was open. This farming, pass the ball. The guy was looking for me, pass the ball. So I was just strong down it, and I was just trying to make sure I finish. I was just focused,
You all were obviously coming off of a very big win earlier in the week against Duke.
Yeah.
Why do you think this team struggles with success?
I'm not very sure, but I know, even you win a big game against Duke, every day you have to show up, keep getting better, keep getting better, focus to come to practice, and get ready for next game, the Duke game was a past game, we already won that one, so we have to move on. So we was not all in, so we were so excited about Duke game, but we didn't get over it, so that's what happened tonight.
How difficult can it be to move on mentally and emotionally from a win like that?
For me, it's not no big deal. I don't know about my teammate. I know myself, so I'm not even worried about it. So every day I just come here, do my best, show up, play defense, or whatever happen.